All right, the graph of the quadratic function is in this form, where the y-axis intercepts point A at 0, 5, and has its vertex at 2, 9. Okay, mark down the value of C. Well, C happens when x equals 0. So when x is 0, C equals 5. Okay, find the value of B. Okay, so to find the value of B, we can use the axis of symmetry here. The axis of symmetry happens when x equals negative b over 2a. We want to find b, right? From this equation, we know that a equals negative 1. So I've got negative b is hold on. We don't know b. We're trying to find b. And 2 and a is negative 1. And we know our axis of symmetry. Our axis of symmetry is 2, right? Because that's the value of the x value of the vertex, right? Okay, so I've got negative b over negative 2 equals 2. And so I can multiply 2 on both sides. Let's just make both of those positive, right? I can multiply 2 on both sides, and then I get, I do that to make that cancel out, and then I get b equals 4. Okay, find the x-intercepts of the graph. There and right there. Okay, so now that I know C, and I know B, and I know A is negative 1, I can say y equals negative x squared plus 4x plus 5. Because we know C is 5 and B is 4. Okay, so let's factor this out. I like to factor out the negative so that it's easier to factor. I don't like having x squared being negative. So now I've changed all the signs. So I've got x squared minus 4x minus 5 because I factored out that negative there. Now what two things multiply to give me 5? And it's 4 times 1. And 4 times 1 gives me 5. No, 5 times 1 gives me 5. And since this is negative, we're going to have to make that one negative and this one positive. So I know my factors that for the x-intercept is when x is 5 and when x is negative 1. Okay, write down in this form. So f of x, oh, I already did that, didn't I? Negative x minus 5 times x plus 1. Okay. All right, number 15. Okay, consider the equation of f of x, where f of x equals 5 minus x plus ax squared. Given when x is 2, y is negative 5. Find the value of a. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite the equation. 5 minus x plus ax squared. And so when x is 2, y is negative 5. Right? When x is 2, y is -5. So now I can solve for a. So I've got -5 equals 5 minus 2 is 3. And then plus 4a. Okay, now what? We can subtract 3 on both sides of the equation to make that go away. And I got -8 equals 4a. So divide by 4, and I get a equals -2. Okay, 15b. Find the equation of the axis of symmetry. So I'm going to rearrange this so that it's in the correct order in general form. And we have f of x equals -2x squared minus x and plus 5. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is when x equals -b over 2a, right? So it's going to be x equals negative, and this is -1, right? And 2 times, and a is -2. So my axis of symmetry is x equals -1/4. Don't forget x equals when you're doing axis of symmetry. Okay, last, write down the range for this quadratic equation. So the range, so this is a is -2. So since a is -2, our parabola is going down, right? Since a is negative. So we need to figure out the vertex. So to figure out the vertex, I'm going to plug in 1/4 in for x. So we have 5 minus 1/4 minus 2 times -1/4 squared. So I get 5 plus 1/4 minus 2 times 1/16. Okay, now let's get a common denominator. So I get y equals 40 over 8 plus 2 over 8, and 2 times 1/16 gives me 1 over 8. So I get y equals 41 over 8. And so my range is y is less than or equal to 41 over 8. Because my axis of symmetry is here at -1/4, and the y value is 41 over 8. So that's the vertex here. You might want to hit pause and think about that for a second. Let's do the last page. Okay, we've got a quadratic function, and the graph f of x intersects the y-axis at this point, 0, 6, right there. And the x-axis at point B, which is 1, 0. And the vertex of the graph is 2, -2. And that's point C. Okay. Write down the axis of symmetry. Well, if the vertex is 2, -2, my axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Okay, sketch the graph from 0 to 4. Well, we know it's going to be symmetrical on the axis of symmetry, so we know we're going to have a point right here, and we're going to have a point right there, and so my graph is going to look like okay. Mark clearly A, B, and C. Okay. Question C. The graph f of x intersects the x-axis for a second point D. Write down the coordinates of D. Okay, so D equals 3, 0. All right. That's it.